She's having my baby, she goes. She got me crazy. So how can they want big up them chest? But they don't know that to go for there, you're rated as the best. I wouldn't dare love is the sound of all this. When I get up in the guy, I only girls we have to fence up in the girl them. Knowing every minute I'm with it, we get the girl them. So they can see the second love, it's just a pretty show them. So the first one to see it, say I'm me, I did it. Soul brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. About now, about now, about now. If you are alive in Houston, Texas, here for a poetry open mic, make some noise. Woo is right. If you are here at right about now, it's very last poetry open mic of 2021. Y'all make some noise. Thank y'all for coming out. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas, is looking forward to a very Happy New Year. This is our last show of 2021, but do not worry. We got shows every single Wednesday coming up in the new year. If you're ever interested in what we have going on, wanpoetry.com/events. You can see what we have coming up every single week. We always have poetry programs, and y'all, this is very special. It's not everywhere in the world right now you can get on a poetry mic. And it's definitely not everywhere in the world where you can do it outdoors underneath the stars. Of course, we cannot see the stars because of all of the pollution, but one thing at a time, you know what I'm saying? And y'all didn't make this last open mic of the year any easier on me. I got a list of 30 poets, okay? So I got a key. That's right. Give it up for my poets. So my job tonight, y'all are making me work very hard, very hard. It's not like I have 10 poets. I have 30 poets. So my job is to keep the show moving. What I need y'all to do to help me keep the show moving is show a lot of energy. Energy manifests itself in several different forms. Sometimes energy looks and sounds like snapping. Can we snap? Now, can we snap like we've been to a poetry show before? Let me hear some soul in that snap. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes energy manifests itself as clapping. Can we clap? Sometimes it sounds like stomping. Can we stomp? And sometimes it sounds like a hell fucking yeah. Can I get a hell fucking yeah? Y'all been here before. That's what I like. But let me ask, who here is your first time ever at a Right About Now poetry event? Let me see your hands. Whoa, welcome. Can we give it up for my rookies? Can we look it up for my first timers? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who has been here before and has come back? Can I see my veterans? Show a hand. Give it up for my vets one time. So basically, y'all hear what it is. Y'all know what it is. We're going to give lots of energy throughout this show, and there is a little bit of call and response. So I'm going to ask you, are you ready for the next poet? And you are going to respond. Bring them up, bring them up, bring them up. All right? We're in practice just one time. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for L.J. Hamilton. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping all the way to the stage for my man L.J. Hamilton.
How y'all doing? That was a shock. I didn't know I would go on this soon, but it's all good. Everybody all right? All right, cool. So I'm going to do a piece titled, Hey Sister. It was the hottest day in July thus far. I witnessed a man shouting from his car, "Hey, sister!" Damn. Good. But as I glanced away from the look on her face, I questioned myself, asking, did he even look? Did he see the pain in her eyes or the strain in her thighs as she carried her 2-year-old son in her left hand while pushing the stroller, carrying her newborn with her right, frantically pacing towards the bus stop just in case the number 32 came on time? He did not notice how she felt hopeless as she dug into her baby's diaper bag for her bus token, face dripping wet with sweat and regret, bombarded with thoughts about how and when she lost her focus, and he did not even know this. Hey, sister, he said again with a devilish grin, followed by, girl, it's too damn hot outside. If y'all want to ride, come on, get in. But one could tell by how he voiced his offer that no good for her was meant. She just stood there, face straight ahead, not once acknowledging his ill intent. He did not see the dreams that she allowed to be shattered as a young lady whose body was maturing faster than her peers and beyond her years. So, of course, every boy in a man's body was determined to have her. She mastered masking her pain with laughter. Daddy was gone, never present at home, so father figures became what are commonly known as hood niggas who mastered the perfect words to say to get her and then abandoned her soon after they had her. Fuck you, bitch! I ain't want to give your funky ass a ride anyway, is what he shouted with laughter as he drove right past her. He did not see that she was immune to every degrading word that he could use. She had been broken to the point of shame, so came no extra pain from his verbal abuse. He did not see that she sheds no more tears because now she must live for her kids. In her mind, she has no time to cry. Although inside she wants to die, she tries to keep her head held high, hating the way that her body is designed, knowing it attracts predators of every kind whose only agenda is to eat her alive. She knows that her babies are not mistakes, but she does wish that she chose to wait. And as her heart slowly breaks, she finds a bit of comfort in the fact that she knows to pray. But she also knows in this concrete jungle, she's praying. And she's been praying and she's been waiting. How much longer is God going to delay? All she wants is the blessing she's read about in biblical scriptures as she steps onto the overcrowded bus to the same catcalls of a man who refuses to give up his seat for her, yet has the nerve to call her his sister. Thank you.
That was L.J. Hamilton. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Prince Pierre. Can I get everyone to say rewind? Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for my DJ, Cherry Light Bounce.
I got some bars for y'all. Out of a rut with the way I sprout up, I marched on rust with the right fist up. Taste earth for its funk, I burst from the jump. All haters get plugged up, land on the pump, huh? Pistol Pete luck, I'm dumb like Gump from a semi-wave front, sustained for 8 months. You clump like gunk when I weather you jump. They all talk junk and they easily stumped. If you don't know much, then you better read up. I'm lax like you, but I don't keep my feet up. Don't want handouts or special treatment. Look for humanity in those that are decent. Relay in the gut, feel it in the spirit, flow in the air duct, particle of essence, relevant, stardust that's got its flame lit. Don't be false around fire or you have to learn quick. Organize and promote, co-captains of the boat. Onward we float, up and down the third coast. They drilling pop smoke, but I'm a citizen cope. Bars fat like soap, soaked in gelato. I got 10 toes in me, zapatos, and I'm stowing up momentum and I gain it when I flow in light. Alleys, I'm stargazing at heaven of the globe. It's engine perfection with trimmer rolls, gold. So know-how in the body and old soul. Find through the fabric of this multi-dimensional. Become a silver surfer with a worldly shadow on a surfboard stone, riding waves of rainbows. The radio's dead, heads moving on stream. Listen to the host of the Ghost in the Machine. Where is my mind? One said a pixie. We could educate more like Eleanor Tinsley. Young Mowgli on way to Miyagi. Young Mowgli on way to Miyagi. Once met a cute Latina down in Miami. We had cortaditos with all milk and honey. Her skin cinnamon gleaming all glazy. The hop of New England got me feeling hazy. I'll be tripped out the day I meet Jay-Z, Grap Lover, E-Dawn, and Percy P. Need cool MC to the highest degree. So everybody in the place to be. If you like what you see, let me hear you make noise on the count of 3. It goes 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Y'all give it up one time for my man, Cherry Like Bounce. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please give it up for our videographer this evening, Zach Blunt.
Y'all make some noise for your host, Amir Safi, one time. So, earlier me and Amir were talking, and he was telling me how men are really bad at greeting each other. And this is very true. I'll give you an example. One man would go in for a handshake, the other man would come in for a hug, and the man with his handshake out with his arm trapped in between the hug, and it's just weird and awkward. And every man in here knows exactly what I'm talking about because this shit happens all the time. And it got me thinking about how I greet my male friends. And we have a standard. It's a dap with a hug on the back end. I really like this. It makes me feel warm and good on the inside. But to anyone watching this happen, this shit looks mad aggressive. Like, super aggressive, y'all. And it is aggressive, but no less loving, I promise. And it got me thinking about masculinity and how it's not inherently a bad thing. I just think men have used aggression to be dicks and start wars and shit. But we don't have to. We get really good hugs with it. We can start riots in the space in between our hearts, make the beating break like windows, make the breaking big like boom, synthesize a boom to collapse space and time until there's nothing left in between our chests. Bang your body against my body until we both break like windows, and through those shattered shards of glass, we can finally see eye to eye. Realize you are no different than me, you silly outcast of a human. We are just as foolish under the eyes of a child. We are just as foolish under the eyes of their future. Under the eyes of this language, anything can make sense. Like the word pony and baloney technically should not rhyme. Hey, he knows how to spell. He's laughing. But to anyone, they technically should rhyme. But this is not about English. This is about the language of our bodies and how they speak to one another. May we crash like kamikaze. May you bang your body against my body. May you shotgun me in my soft spots. I'll die a billion times to close the space in between our chests, because without these embrace, I was dead from the start. You tell me affection can only be soft, and I'll prove you wrong for a lifetime. I'm only here because hard motherfuckers love me the only way they knew how. From standing with their chest through cigarette-soaked breaths, I love you is not the only way to say I love you, y'all. Sometimes it sounds like text me when you make it home. Or keep your head up. Or you a bitch. Or adapt with a hug on the back end. And I know this is the most aggressive poem you have ever heard about a hug in your entire life. But I promise you, it's no less loving. It is no less warm on the inside.
That was the poet, Zach Blunt. Can we make some noise for aggressive hugging? Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Richard Bowman. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, all the way to the stage. Richard Bowman.
Had to hit you with the church finger. Sorry. I'd be remiss if I didn't introduce myself. My name is Richard Bowman. Oftentimes on the stage, I go by King Richard because I'm black, so I'll put a king on it. I'm repping the 317 Naptown. I love my city and I love Houston. I'm starting to fall in love with it just a little bit. But I'd also be remiss if I didn't tell you something really important about myself. And that's that I have a very serious addiction to Oreos. Now, I'm serious, y'all. I cannot get enough of the cookies and cream. As a kid, I was much worse. You see, I would devour double stuffed Oreos, pop them like pills, milk, no milk. It didn't matter. But see, somewhere along my journey of self-exploration, I began to realize something. You see, I'm conflicted. And I'm conflicted, you see, because, well, I don't really know what type of black man that I should be. You know, inside of me, I strive for peace and equality, raise my fist for hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag melanin, on fleek, hashtag we do not bootleg black movies. One more time, we do not bootleg black movies. Hashtag, yes, I will always take a knee to your anthem as long as I have to earn the right to be seen as citizens. As long as I have to earn that right, you have to earn the right for me to pledge my allegiance. Cannot force this patriotism with verbal abuse and scorn when my ancestors, current family, and myself have experienced firsthand how this country was never taught to love me, but I can't get too upset. Because I've got this other side of me, you know, the black man that has to play the part of the peaceful protester, black man that wants that honest money, you know, that has to be okay eating Oreos without brown shells, that understands why the Oreo is milk's favorite cookie, how easily the white goodness sinks in, making it easier to swallow. No need for a spoonful of sugar to help the assimilation go down, the racism go down, the hate go down. No wonder when you take it out of the milk, there's sometimes more white than brown. No wonder too much milk and the whole thing falls to the bottom, forgotten and unwanted. No wonder the Oreo is milk's favorite cookie. Two halves of my blackness separated by a white moderate immune to the overwhelming nature of the white milk seeking supremacy over my black halves, wanting to break them down, wanting to massacre my melanin, wanting to absorb me in a pool of thick white hate and drag me down into a sunken place. But you see, my black be bold, be resilient. My black may be split, but my black be strong. So I will get out. I will overcome. See, I refuse to get fucked by this country. Uncle Sam ain't getting this cookie. I'm too busy building my empire. So you can keep the cream to yourself. Because no longer will I compartmentalize my identity. Because I understand why the Oreo is milk's favorite cookie. And I refuse to be devoured.
That was King Richard Bowman. Make some noise if you are never going to look at Oreos the same ever again. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Sharika. Clap for the poet, clap for the poet, clap. Clap for the poet, clap for the poet, clap. All the way to the stage, Sharika.
I'm awkward, I know. What is up? Oh shit, it's like I heard two voices and it's like 500 of us in this bitch. So I'm gonna try that again. What is up right about now, poetry? How we feeling? How we doing? How we living? Yeah, the energy you give us, the energy we give y'all. Right, cool. So I'm gonna get sexy for y'all. I said before I'm awkward, so I don't know how sexy it's gonna be. But we gonna rock out with it anyways. He made love to me with so much passion. Bass drummed the backboard of the bed. Used his tongue as an instrument over the orchestra of my body. Stroke keys I never knew existed. He worked his way around my triangle. Rotated his tongue in all three corners. Tambourine clapped my thigh. the cymbals of our bodies grinding smoothly in the softest whisper. I played his flute. He made me his cello. He said he liked how my body felt against his left hand technique, glissando my spine without release, played skillfully, inching into the pitch of my moans, the calm before the climax, before the sweat, before the bed sheet curtain closes. Most nights we refuse to let the bed sheet curtain close without an encore performance, the snare beats of movements, the crescendo of our heavy breath, the C6 in my soprano, the G4 in his baritone. There'll be no notes left unplayed, unsung. The neighbors got invited to a concert they did not pay for. They will listen anyways. And when the sweat dries up and the applause of our heartbeats fading into the darkness of the room, you're just a symphony neglected, a love poem I force myself not to think about. The sound of your stroke I force myself to forget. The diction that divides my dialogue in casual conversations, you come up more often than you think. Even in the comfort of my silence, I'm reminded of the music, the chills along with it. I still feel your palms breezing against the cello of my ribs, the hands I force myself to forget. I stand on stages in confliction, like whether or not I will weaken my knees, get off key when your name makes its way across my screen, or sits in anger, furious that you had the audacity to remember in the first place. Either way, lessons taught don't mend broken hearts. No one ever tells you how to recover after letting go of your first love. Now, how-to guides or manuals a year later, the scabs you pick at every time you're in the shower of would-haves and should-haves. You fucked me with so much passion. I made a mistake and called it love. Thank you.
Woo! Can we give it up for that poet? Can we give it up for this DJ song selection? Who knows the TikTok dance? We're too old for that. All right, y'all. That was Sharika being sexy and awkward on stage. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Hey, I know it's the last day of the year for us, but we don't have to act like it. Are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for the Notorious B.I.V. Keep clapping, 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 all the way to the stage. B.I.V.
Okay. So I don't sleep much. Never have. And 3 a.m. is that witching hour that I just have always waited until 3 a.m. before I could go to sleep and feel safe going to sleep. So here it goes. And it's an old one. Do you ever wonder how you ever let yourself get caught up, stuck in the endless loop of what ifs and whys? I do. I wonder when I got so lost and stopped remembering my way back home. Home to the heart of me, my core, my beliefs, my truth. When I find myself at that 3 a.m. prime time despair spot, I rail and wail, I rock back and forth. My chest heaves while sweat and tears plaster my hair to my face and my eyelashes slide. Panting and swaying, I'm locked in the hysterics of a mad woman. That 3 a.m. hour that makes itself available to the lost, the broken, the drugged, the thieves, the witches, and the pimps. This is the hour that begins the course of everyone's waking day. What do you do at 3 a.m.? Where do you go? Where do you allow your mind to wander, your body, your heart? This is the question I want to ask anyone I meet. Where were you at 3 a.m.? Did you let yourself get caught up in the what ifs and whys? Did you shake with pleasure or pain? Did you get rocked with anger and sorrow or just the tribal beat of your own soul? Do you remember where you were? Do you? Or maybe you blacked out or otherwise knocked yourself out so you can forget all that you're running from. Where were you at 3 a.m.?
Can we make some noise for Unrequited Love? That was Notorious B.I.B. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Jay the Sage.
How y'all doing tonight? I am Jay the Sage, and this poem I'm about to do is actually dedicated to my fellow Christians who were put on this earth to share the joy and the word of gospel, but who were also told not to judge, but feel entitled to do so anyway. This poem is called, But Are You God? I have made mistakes, but do not mistake me. I owe you no apology. You can take that or continue to hate me. See, I've been doing some soul searching. I find that I'm going to sell my black boy joy 24/7. I'm going to be that kind of merchant. See, only me and God will have a hand on my final curtain. So I ask you, are you God? They say every saint has a past and every sinner a future. The difference is a sinner doesn't know what future he has in store. Yet a saint can have a past he can choose to ignore. Let him who's without sin cast the first stone. Yet there you are sitting on your glass throne aimed at the other side of residences to which you used to reside. You're firing the gun of judgment. What happens when the barrel comes back at you? Are you sure you're bulletproof? I mean, let's be real. Look at the sins we do and the sins we don't. The commandments we will follow and the ones we won't. It's crazy what we commit to and condemn others that don't. See, we only judge others on the sins we decide to abide. Please stand and say you're perfect, and I promise you have just stood and lied. See, I preach the proof that there was a purpose without perfection. But pretty words don't always constitute a direction. So when God tells me to be a light, please consider the way I walk the message. See, I'd rather them see me basking in the light than to flash it in their faces. Invite them to come inside, but allow them to walk at their own paces. Stuffing pages of scripture down their throats. We've mistaken suffocation for education. So sit down, little believer, be humble. In life, you don't always play the rep. You rather call a flag than help pick up those who fumble. So watch your tone. Non-believers are not the other team if we all perceive heaven as the end zone. Your left hand should know the good deeds of your right. Yet there you are, so happy to applaud for yourself. They have no choice but to converse in the matter of your self-gratification. But there is room for celebration. You've given me new insight to what it means to be a Christian. Even for me, it was hard to say it, but I had to face it. Sometimes I can be a little facetious. I can taste it, this co-misery in this cup I made. I pass around because I want us all to drink the Kool-Aid. That's preposterous. I'm just saying that in a room full of sinners, I feel no superior. This poem is really talking about the people who can look in that mirror and see something greater than themselves. Look deep in themselves and find that they were made never to make an error, ever a mistake. See, me, I know I can be stacked with cadence and confidence, and some may say I confuse that with pride. But I'm not too arrogant to know that they probably didn't lie, and that's something I can work on. But whether I'm in God's house, the king size of the futon, I'm someone anybody going through anything can lean on. Moral of the lesson, I'm so glad you found religion. But just know, even at my lowest, I am still a godly man. So no matter how high on that horse you are, I promise you are no closer to God than where I stand. Jay the Sage, thank you.
That was Jay the Sage. Can we make some noise for Christians? I won't tell your moms, okay? I promise. All right, y'all. Right now, this is the part of the show that we call the TikTok timeout. All right, so now is the time of awareness. The more people that know about the arts, the more people that support the arts. So I'm going to get y'all to help me, okay? Here's how it's going to work. You're going to be on my video. On the count of 3, you're going to say, "Go Little Rock Star," okay? All right, some people are on TikTok. You know what I'm talking about. Let's practice one time, okay? 1, 2, 3. All right, that was perfect. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. And then I'm going to get a side view really quick. 1, 2, 3. Hey, y'all, we're even on rhythm. Give it up for yourself. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Simone, the specialist. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping for Simone, the specialist.
I ain't gotta stare at me like that, okay? I know this jacket big as shit, okay? I got it on sale though, so y'all gonna look at this jacket. I have this memorized, but I'm nervous, so don't look at the phone, goddammit. My ciphers be snippets, pieces of other shit, different genre, similar context, adjacent tone, same volume though. Requested, anticipated, needed, accepted, heard. As in, I be the shepherd of my poetry and the audience's ears be my sheep. Control, responsibility, influence, do. As in, my words gather the water that be your thoughts on the plant that be you outside during the night, glowing, radiant, moist, innocent, velvety, like my do-rag. Not to brag, it's a guarantee. My name be the justification. My presence be the permit. Simone, the specialist sanction. This stage be a sanctuary, necessary. The applause be reactionary, momentary. But that support, though, it be complimentary, customary. Going after me is like stepping foot into someone else's territory, honorary. As in, it's your honor to hear me spit first. I've been true to this, consistency. I'm not new to this, frequently. I be bruised but didn't quit, mercenary. Simone be a fraud, blasphemy. Fraudulent behavior turned profit, old friendships turned casualty. Knows the difference between cockiness and confidence, certainty. Knows how to separate love and loyalty, naturally. Knows when to eat and when to set the table for others, humbly. This be the snippet never spoken, the cipher you always wanted to hear but never received. Stomach stuffed with tissue paper, the specialist be the gift that keeps on giving. Simone, the specialist. Thank you.
Can we make some noise for velvet do-rags and jackets and 80-degree weather? This shit. Hey, if y'all like what you heard from Simone the Specialist, I want to plug a very, very special, unique event we have coming up on January 22nd. So pre-sales for this event ended. But because this is the last show of the year, I wanted to open it up for this group. So if you're here, you're the only ones that know that the pre-sale tickets open back up. So we're having an event called Slam Mania 3 on January 22nd. The headliners are 16 women from the city of Houston. They will be competing against each other in a poetry battle, and the winner will receive an all-expensive paid trip, their entry, their flight, and their stay covered to the 2022 Women of the World Poetry Slam Festival in Baltimore. And not only will they win that, the winner will also receive a feature here right about now on March 23rd. So if you're interested in going to that event, if you go to our website, wanpoetry.com/events, you can buy standing room tickets for that event for $10. Seats to that event. Thank you, Christina. Only $10. And general seating is $25. Only $25. And you really can't, because general standing is going to go up to $20 and seating is going to go up to $35 after tonight. So if you want to save some money, you want to see one of the most elite poetry shows we have put together of all time, but definitely the most elite in January 2022, I want you to check out that event. You will not want to miss it. But we got more poets coming up on this stage, so I'm going to keep it rolling. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Enzo.
Hello, Houston. What's up? All right, man. Look, just a year ago, my life was nothing but rubble and rain, man. So I wrote this to show y'all my struggle and pain. All right? I said I'm stressed then. I'm tired of living like I'm less than. Tired of living like I'm not the best man for my family. Tired of dropping to the bottom when my spot is on top of the canopy. Tired of this insanity, dragging me down like 1,000 pounds of gravity. I pleaded with God to grab at me and rattle me, drag the damn dragon out of me. But first I had to battle me, reaching deep to defeat the demons that frequently eat at me. So I remind myself repeatedly, everything that is taken to find myself and awaken the beast in me. Here's a piece of me. See, these tears, they secretly precipitate from my very face as I face my deepest of fears. Full of sleepless nights. How long can I keep this fight? Full of dope, I wasn't eating right. No peace of mind, no peace inside, no peace in sight. Please rewind. I said no peace of mind, no peace inside, no peace in sight. Soul and mind combined with feeling heartless. My time being in darkness, regardless, my heart is still seeking and reaching for light. Because I said I'm stressed, man. But I still feel blessed, man. Thank y'all for letting me share.
Make some noise for being stressed and blessed. That was Enzo. My man just went hard on this. My audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Brandon Sullivan. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping all the way to the stage.
Hey, thanks, guys. I just want to say I'm from Washington State, and I haven't been at an open mic in 2 years. Everything's shut down over there, so go Houston. Okay. All right, I'm a little bit nervous too because it's been 2 years since I performed. So, okay, this is called "How to Spell Suicide." I can remember when I first heard the word suicide. I must have been 7, 8 years old and thought it sounded like sewer side, as in the kid committed sewer side, which I figured must be code for hanging out next to a sewer drain, which sounded great. After all, that was the Ninja Turtles' home. And it took me a while to learn how to spell it once I realized what it actually meant, as if my brain found mutated cartoon characters more believable. Language carries baggage. And sometimes I'm left in an airport terminal wondering what happened to my luggage. Probably lost. Later that year, 4th grade me competed in a spelling bee in Mrs. Sheffield's class. And my team was kicking butt until it was my turn to spell campaign. So naturally, I spelled it Campane. And my opponent, a kid named Chad or some kind of crap, spelled it Campaign. And I thought to myself, that can't possibly be right. So you can imagine how the rest of my day went, standing there like an idiot by the baggage claim, waiting for a spelling that made sense, as if I was stuck in a time machine that only went backwards. I was way past tense. My mind was a basket suitcase with carry-ons carrying on in circles before me. So I resolved to conquer the alphabet like the child of Harry Potter and Aquila. I would never again not know how to spell something. I would know instinctively how to spell words like suicide, neurotransmitters, and depression. I would be able to spell the whole freaking dictionary from Abilify to Xanax. And yes, that's not spelled with a Z, it's spelled with an X, as in X marks the spot where my spell casting proclivities couldn't overcome my inability to keep my brother from going to hang out with Michelangelo. And lately, both local and national headlines tell me that still more people are deciding to seek out Donatello. And suddenly, I'm back in Mrs. Sheffield's class, wrong all over again, as if they just changed without warning the spelling of campaign to Campain, as in campaign be so great that the only refuge left is Sewer Side by Leonardo. Can I keep you from splintering? Can I ever hope to rope letters tightly enough together to spell bind you? Can I bottle lightning into this jar made of mirrors just so you can see what magic you carry? But my baggage claims me in this airport, and I fear the condition is terminal because you can't spell the unspellable, and there's no incantation that can travel down your throat any further than an antidepressant can. So my poetry may just be an aerosol can spraying nice spells over terrified smells. My words no more than lost bags spinning in a circle for an infinity of seconds in another airport. Empty hands ever reaching for luggage that probably won't be there, trying to convince you what a miracle you are before you go somewhere else. Thank you.
Give it up for Brandon Sullivan from Washington State. That's so cool. Thanks for stopping by. Just curious, who else is here from out of state? Anyone? Where are you from? We got Las Vegas in the house. Where are you from? We got Atlanta in the house. Anyone else? You're from right here. All right. We got another Washington State in the house. Do y'all know each other? Are y'all friends? Y'all are both like, yo, who the fuck is that? All right, it's okay. Y'all can be friends. Anyone else? No, anyone from out of the, where's it? Neptune? In Minneapolis? Indianapolis? Huh? Naptown is Indianapolis? Who knew that? Who knew that? Okay, most people didn't. Y'all are making me feel weird about that shit. You learn something new at Poetry Night every night, and what I learned is Indianapolis is called Naptown. That makes sense. Yo, they're making personal pizzas in the front, so if you do get hungry at all, go visit Pizza Sisters. They're making food all night long. And right here on the mic, we got some poetry cooking. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Nez. Clap for the poet, clap. Clap for the poet, clap. Clap for the poet, clap. All the way to the stage.
Okay. Hello. I'm an awkward black girl as well, so. Does anybody know who Free K is? Shit. Okay, so this one is called Ode to Free K. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. Okay. I'm negative, by the way. All right. So, Ode to Free K. You wrote a poem about being alone, and I felt that. In my heart, I felt heard. And I wanted to express gratitude at the workshop, but my poetic mind could only ironically deliver these words. Wow, I really felt that one. So I wrote this poem to tell you that I really do relate to that poem that you spoke. Whew. So I've been alone for most of my years. And as constant as my lonesome, my need to have something playing in the background still remains. I hate sitting in silence because I'm reminded of the harsh realities such as, no, Mahalia, your mom is never going to recover and be the mother that you want her to be. And yes, Mahalia, that man really did those things to your body. No, Mahalia, no one's going to help you with your PTSD. And yes, Mahalia, you're most likely going to have to take care of that shit alone. So I would play anything to avoid sitting in silence. Music, documentaries, YouTube reaction to my favorite shows. But I don't think those examples really convey to you how much I hate silence. So I'll give you a little bit more about myself. Just make sure you control those judgmental faces because I can feel them, okay? So when I poop, I have to poop with water running or something playing on my phone. Because yes, pooping in silence gives way to trauma. and I want no parts of it. Aside from dodging silence through white noise, I've also disassociated myself from my reality, and I became the character they forgot to list in the cast and the ending credits. When I find a good show, I become that show. Because any amount of time, 30 minutes or 2 hours, is enough to travel to zone out land. When I was younger, I felt like I was somebody and somewhere in the library with Between the Lions. No one can tell me that I wasn't the inspiration behind that one black girl on Cyber Chase. When I was at the mini one of my babysitters laying on a makeshift pallet on the floor, and I would be watching Girlfriends at nighttime. Should be watching that at 8 anyway. But anyways, I dreamed of being intelligent like Joan, bold like Maya, free like Lynn, a little bit, I'm a free. And unapologetic like Tony, like fuck you. Like I don't apologize sometimes. Anyways, I never had cable, but ABC Saturdays, I would tune into That's So Raven faithfully. I believed that my ability to zone out was just me being able to tell the future like her, but no, I was just disassociated. So yes, Free K, I know how it feels to be alone in the way that you expressed it. And I thank you for sharing your words because those words have been trapped within me for so long. My goal one day is to be one with silence and present in the moment. But until then, I'll keep running my water and starring in these shows.
That was Nez. Can we make some noise for writing odes to other poets? That's awesome. Especially while they're still alive. I feel like that's so important that we write odes to the poets and the people in our lives while they're still here. That poem reminds me of a line from the famous poet Kevin Burke, who says, there is a feeling of being lonely, but there's no such thing as ever being alone. You know what I'm saying? So word to that. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Mississippi, Maryland. Houston, y'all better show Mississippi some love right now. Mississippi, Maryland, all the way to the stage.
This poem is titled Frustration. The dark darkens. Frustration. The dark lightens and the light darkens. The rain shines and the sun cries. A transition in mind filled with the pounding of 3 drums. Iron tires and rubber hubcaps. The noise clamps down on my nerves. Horns screeching in the distance and brakes blowing like trumpets. I wish they would blow like wind. Maybe then they would soothe my mind and tickle my soul so my heart would laugh. Deep breaths and strong sighs fight for the title for the heavyweight championship of my mouth. They seem to escape together as they trickle down from my brain as mental releases of patience lost and frustration found. Mind so clouded and images too distorted, I close my eyes and I block out sound. But a small voice seeps in and say, I am the same today as I was yesterday, and I will always make a way. I open my eyes and I let in sound. The dark darkens and the light lightens. The rain cries and the sun shines. A settled mind by a soothing hum. Rubber tires and iron hubcaps. Horns blowing like trumpets and brakes screeching in the distance. Everything makes sense once again. I now remember my trusted friend. Thank you.
That was Mississippi, Maryland. Audience, make some noise if you're having a good time at Poetry Night tonight. I got a question for y'all. Are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for James E. Walker. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping for James E. exclamation point Walker.
Yeah, I go by the name of James E. Walker, man in many hats, artist in many acts. I'm a touring artist. I'm from here, and I'm networking with all the artists that's from everywhere else, man. So on behalf of that, man, I got to do a quick vibe check, man. The name of my tour is called Designer Rap Tour. So if I can get y'all to do me a favor, man, when I say Designer Rap, if I can get y'all to say tour, it'd be greatly appreciated. Designer Rap, Designer Rap. Welcome to the tour. The gallery's open. Oh, yes, I know it's long overdue, but hey, masterpieces take patience, Pete. Here's an overview to keep you in the loop, so go ahead, remove your shoes. Grab some wine and cheese, perhaps a cup of fruit as I proceed to walk you through. It's so imperative. I control the narrative. On every canvas, wrote the characters to be declarative. In every stanza, dedicated to it, full of passion. No one full of color, get active. Never seen a rapper so adaptive. Messy palette, method to the madness. Sensitive about mine, though I show no emotion. I'm heavily devoted. Pimping the potion, stick to the notion. Might keep a few loaded, unapologetic, undeniably ready, unparalleled to the scale is heavy, but I trust it. With my heart on my sleeve, I'm flustered. Flow to a frequency that you couldn't conceive in your wildest dreams. Could be extreme, a bit unforeseen, but muster the fate to push me forward. Horses to cut the umbilical cord. Here's a toast to all who watch me starve when the info could have put me on my feet, bro, but you gotta write them off if you really want to put yourself on. Take it how you want, take it how you feel, take it for what it's worth. Just don't take it lightly. Approach me politely. It's on. This my turf. This my playing field. This is the art of verse. This my art. This my platform. This is my body of work. Take it how you want. Take it how you feel. Make up it with your will. It's your interpretation, your opinion, but it's my career. This my craft. This my canvas. This is the concert. This my dream. This my CEO. This is my gift to earth. I just need an ear to paint the picture clear. Pioneer, bumping like 6x9s. Show up right on time like a cavalier. Charming yet alarming. Plenty seasons like I'm forming. By the sacred as a psalmist. What you need, I'm like a pharmacist. Develop the skill to make me one in a meal. Look like I'm running up meals on top of the bill. Art been paying the bills. It's like a meal on wheels. I'm healing the ear. I'm willing to give a kill. Just keeping it real. I'm giving them chills like Amityville. That's mass appeal. Color outside the lines, right beyond the margins. Think outside the box. I move and count the clock. In due time, you see it's lonely at the top, breaking the padlock. Me and my own tokens, running up stocks. This is my sandbox. Play by my own rules. Marbles and rocks don't take no prisoners. Accept no visitors. Don't fuck with those who couldn't envision us. New exhibitions got my ammunition up. Just a position of a composition, limited edition. Fulfill the mission to precision just from holding vision. Take it how you want. Take it how you feel. Take it for what it's worth. Just don't take it lightly. Approach me and politely. It's on. This my turf. This my playing field. This is the art of verse. This my art. This my platform. This is my body of work. Take it how you want. Take it how you feel. Make up it with your will. It's your interpretation, your opinion, but it's my career. This my craft. This my canvas. This is the concert. This my dream. This my CEO. This is my gift to earth. I appreciate y'all time, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at Designer Rap Tour. Yeah.
That was James E. Walker on the Designer Rap Tour. Y'all give it up for the poet one more time. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for MC Leroy.
Check 1, 2.
My son says when he grows up, he wants to be like LeBron, not Mike. But I wonder if a woman who's white would tell him just to shut up and dribble, like this got to be the only place in the world where you die over Skittles. So I wonder if little Trayvon ever got a chance to taste the rainbow before God gave him a halo. They say find your place in the sun, shine. What if your melanin ain't enough to keep you relevant in your body out the grave when they treat you like a slave and tell us we's free? Oh, say, can you see this the American dream? Head swipe right on the screen, head to a beam. He was 13. They trying to blow his mind before he reached his dreams. Swipe right on the screen, man down. No, that's a child, somebody's baby. Oh, sweet lady. So I went on IG to DM Tyrese to call Optimus because it's obvious we be the prime suspects in these hate crimes. Sound crazy, don't it? They believe we could transform bags of candy into firearms, cigarettes into smoke bombs, hands up, and they say we both armed. But only one of us is being judged. And they holding court in the street. And the iPhone jury's on the live feed. Meanwhile, they trying to crop us out the picture. Blaring the truth, we got to shoot, readjust the pixels. Standing at my altar, asking my ancestors to answer. They say a dead man don't tell no tales. But good thing we live forever. Good thing we understand the spirit because plain English be a foreign language. Cut the flesh for the sacrifice. We bleed, that's Ebo for the afterlife. My scrotum be attached to a totem. Watch the doulas do a dance around it and bring us back to life before you can figure out the passion of Christ be erected. The selected few of dark hue you call strange fruit, falling too far from trees that bear truth, rounded up in baskets and shipped off. America the Great, please remind us. I don't trust the elected or the gov. This the glove that got OJ off, formed and fitted into a black fist for the accused and the acquitted. Them footprints in the sand got blood in it. Like Jesus walking in Yeezys. That's just a stroll in my skin. I hope your feet are rested. How we entertain the very same that oppressed it. We only 6 generations off the plantation, 158 years from the legally racist. Now we asking and begging to breathe like we pregnant. Water broke because that levee wouldn't hold. Now we wandering souls, skin black like the coal. Who want the smoke? And they pop. They just tell us, just let it go. But how can we forget? Our memory be forced photographic. They keep the slave plays on repeat. They keep the slave plays on repeat. They just looping the beatings. Hit for the masses. We's famous. Hit for the master. Just for the record, I reckon we've been had. Run amok. Oh, you know the speech. Rebel. Oh, you know to speak. Give them hell. Rebel like the geeks. Divine them shells and listen to the elders speak. Tap 3 at the feet. Make way. Let them speak. Tap 3 at the feet. Make way. Let them speak. Spit spells at the Greek. This ain't no revolution. We just going in circles. Can't tell the tears from the weak. Too many names left. Too many left dormant in the street. Too many names to speak. It's like I ink in my skin now. Another name added 80 week. My bad, Mr. Badger. You here to protect the police, but I get it now. And I understand the relation between the seed, the soil, the farmer, the plow, and the cow. And these niggas still waiting on the mule and 40 acres. But my back aching. I'm 40 now. Been waiting, being patient, I'm taking now. They took like crooks, and it's the shakedown. Get off your knees and brace for impact. Get off the field. We need our quarterback. They sold us for a dime a dozen. We waited in our water so long, of course our pants are flooded. But you'll never take the dance on our step, the song on our soul, the dream from my eyes, the love from my heart, and all them souls that Tubman done tote before we ride or die on that railroad to freedom. Peace.
That was MC Leroy. Hey, you know, if the man brings his own camera setup, it's going to be good. Y'all give it up for that poet one more time. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Devin or Divine coming to the stage. Divine.
Bueno, bueno, bueno. My name is Divine because I'm going to give you a divine intervention one time for the one time. So this piece I got is called Two Halves. Growing up, I never had a biracial poet that actually talked about both halves fluently without making the other one seem better. I never heard that they talked about the streets of Harlem or they talked about how the Boricua back in Mexico was better. I never heard about it. I only heard the Andy Foremans and I heard only the Samantha Kings. I only heard the haves, but I never heard the me. So hi, my name is Divine. I call my motherland Mexico because my fatherland left my mother before I was even born. You feel me? He left me down on the steps and he said, I'm gonna be a crack fiend instead. It's funny. I got the story of a drag queen, but I got the story of a drug dealer mule too. You feel me? I talk about how the coyote used to come to my neighborhood and used to get all the kids, but really I was living in the suburbs and really I was chilling. But it's funny. I was on Oats Prairie living my best life, La Vida Loca. You feel me? Selena's my queen. I just want to say that real quick. Without Selena, J-Lo wouldn't be a thing, so don't question me. So let's talk about another one because everybody wants to get mad that I talk about my Hispanic heritage, but really I just talk about what's real to me. I wasn't really given love by the Black community because I was a light skin. I was mixed. I had the curly hair and I had the big butt that everybody wanted. See, I got the hips of Selena, but I got the mind of Whitney. It's funny. Nobody wants to actually talk about that. But let me talk about how it's crazy that I'm a Black trans man, but you wouldn't know about that unless I said that. So that's a funny thing right there. Nobody wants to talk about a Black trans queer man that lives in America. No, they don't want to talk about a racial kid. They want to talk about how it's beautiful to have mixed kids, but never actually stay. They want to talk about how it's crazy that they procreate so often, but they're the first ones that are in the adoption centers the next morning. Let's talk about it. Can I talk about why it's so crazy that Black boys can't get adopted or why I can't be raped? How it's such a crazy thing. I should have said trigger warning because I feel like people have sensitive ears to sensitive topics, but they never want to discuss what's actually real on knowledge. It's funny that you want to silence my truth, but you want to silence what I'm telling you because my words are like poison, but they actually are the serums that cure you. It's funny. I got the tongue of a lion, but I got the tongue and the waves of an eagle. It's kind of funny because I got everything that I want to fiend. I was like, I'm going to Mexico real quick, porque yo quiero aceptar mis cosas con mi gente. Si sabes que estoy diciendo, pues dame un grito. Un grito is when you yell, you scream, because we're trying to give to God the happiness that we feel inside. Because I want to give a grito real quick. It goes, ay, ay, ay. It's so loud that nobody understands what's going on. But I feel like if I talk about my heritage, let's talk about how death real happens. The Black community likes to talk about death and say it happens, it's done, they're gone. Why are you still crying? But let's talk about the Hispanic community, that we actually have Dia de los Muertos and we celebrate for a whole month and we actually mourn the death, but we live the death and we like to bring them back to life because the only time that we had to say, I'm sorry. It's the only time we feel like that they're at peace. It's the only time we feel like that suicide was not the answer. You see, every Black Lives Matter protest, you never talk about the Black trans, right? You never talk about how we always get killed. You never talk about how the light skins are the ones that get the most shots to their body. You never talk about how the light skins are the most ones that get the hate. I'm sorry that I'm light skinned, but don't hate me because it's not my first birthright. I didn't choose to be this. I didn't decide one day I want to be mixed with Black. I'm sorry my dad's gay and he's a drug dealer. I'm so sorry that you can't have my problems. At least you had a dad. I had a mom that was doing the single life parenthood thing, that was trying to make sure she raised a kid right. I was on the straight, narrow path doing everything right because my mama had nothing else to give back. My grandparents did what they did, but you know what's funny is that my grandma used to always make tortillas de reina in the morning, and it's tortillas. They're tortillas because no one understands Spanish, but we took Spanish for 4 years in high school. It's funny. Yeah. I feel like it's a nuisance that we kept talking about how Spanish is such a hard language, but you go to Bloody Mary Mondays and you talk about Margarita Fridays and you think about all these different holidays. You celebrate Cinco de Mayo so fast, but you never celebrate Juneteenth and actually learn the history. So can we actually discuss this real quick? It's funny that we got to talk about the different paradigms of life, but we can't actually coincide them one time in one thing. The family that I used to love and take care of, they used to take care of me, but they were the Black side. They were the toxic side of Black masculinity because I used to think that I had to hide my emotions inside and be a toxic male and not actually express them once in a while. It's crazy. They actually showed me the dynamic of a parent switch where the mother was actually the breadwinner and the mother was actually the most sickest one in the world because she was mentally sick. She actually raped her husband. I'll say it here right now. She raped her husband when she was drunk and she made it seem like it was just a joke. Why are we laughing at jokes in the Black family? Why can't we actually feel our pain? Why do we have to keep laughing about it? Why can't we make a change? I just want to understand what another RIP t-shirt do we need to have so we can actually have change in the mental health society? Why can't Black lives get actual therapists? I'm sorry, that might have triggered you. Therapists are not a bad people. They're actually great human beings to help you understand you've been through trauma. Trauma has a you in it because it was only through you. So please understand that the pain that you feel is not being unveiled. I just want you to understand that you need to feel. And I'm sorry that it was a light skin mixed with Black and Hispanic that had to tell you that. I get it. You want it to be someone that's your melanin, that's your race, that's this and that. I'm sorry that I'm so coincide and my DNA complex is so mixed beautifully that you see my colored eyes and you think, damn, this nigga really spitting right now. But let me say it real quick. I go to Prairie View A&M University, the greatest HBCU in the land. Let's talk about it real quick. But I came from TSU first. I know I went there, but I was raped on campus and they said my rape didn't exist because it was with a Hispanic child and me being mixed. They saw the Hispanic, they thought, well, they pass as white, so we can't fight. They told me, you half black, you most likely lying, so let's go talk to Stack. I said, cool. Went to PV, doing all what I needed to do. I hear that the person graduates and I go into a frenzy of almost trying to kill myself in November. It's crazy that I have to tell you my whole life story so you can actually feel the pain, but it's funny because I don't show my scars and I never wear them because I feel like as a survivor, you survive and you keep surviving and you keep living and you keep dying over and over again. It's like a resurrection every time, but I don't pray to the same Jesus you do. Do you understand? Each religion has a different type of Jesus complex, but we never understand who created Jesus in the first place. We want to talk about it as a white man. We don't talk about it as a black man. We don't talk about it as Hispanic. We don't talk about a Virgin Mary. I want to talk about all the different religions because I feel like coincide together. It's like a beautiful mixed child, but nobody wants to actually have that conversation. They want to talk about what's the other half, what's this half, what's that half, what's this half. Well, I'm two halves created in one. My name is Divine, and I hope you have fun. We're going to talk about different races, and we're going to talk about coexisting together because I feel as though the coexistingness that we have is what we actually need to survive. The funny thing is that everybody in here probably once wanted to die. Thank you for being here because no one would actually listen. They actually just kept stepping by and kept thinking, man, this is going to be a different premonition. I just want to tell you that you're here for a reason, and I love you. So if you want to repeat back, I love you, because I want you to know I love you. Yes, I love you. Let's repeat it back. This is going to be a great exercise, for real. I love you. I love you. Because you are the baddest on 2 feet, and I hope you know that. But it took a mixed kid to tell you that. I hope you keep it and you keep showing that. Bye.
That was divine. Can we make some noise for love? Can we make some noise for the Afro Latinx trans community? Can we make some noise one time for survivors? Can we make some noise for Salinas? Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Almost. Are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Ageless Ambition.
I don't know all the words. I'm sorry. I was a movie fan though. Okay. Anything for Salinas. Okay. I can do it. But oh. So this poem is a poem for my niece Kylie. She loves Mickey Mouse and Mermaid and all the wonderful things. So y'all heard about Chloe playing the new Ariel and the controversy going around that, right? So this poem is called Black Mermaids. For those poor, unfortunate souls who believe mermaids can't be black, I hope this poem fills you with enough white tears for us to rebuild Atlantis, much like Atlanta is filled with black people. Question: what do you think our ancestors became after being thrown overboard a slave ship or jumping to their deaths during the Middle Passage? Some subscribe to the idea that they became hurricanes, gusts of strong, unforgiving wind, reminiscent of how quietly black folks hold our rage inside of us, and this makes sense. However, I subscribe to the idea that when Oshun opened her arms to cradle the first black child thrown overboard a slave ship, she gifted them with scales and gills to survive. Legs already down, feet became webbed to wiggle out of shackles that were made to sink them. The audacity. They think we drowned, y'all. Thought Mama Wata had chosen to forsake us. When they tried to wash away our existence, it brewed in the belly of the oceans. It sank ships and sailors like boulders and took no prisoners. Sirens became the name given to women calling out to lost children and loved ones still enslaved. Of course, white men would be attracted to the pain of black women, beauties their wives paled in comparison to. They will say that we lured them with our bodies, like these were the only weapons we had. Then again, they do deem the black body dangerous. I heard they would drain whole pools if a black boy would swim across the colored line. You think that they were afraid of his blackness, afraid that it would spread like oil, baptize them in the realization that he was a merman. You know, Dorothy Dandridge, they drained the pool at Frontier when she stuck her foot in it. And she was definitely a mermaid amongst men. No matter how pretty, how beautiful, they still thought her as creature, something to look at, but something also to fear. Interesting history of them trying to keep us out of water. Afraid we'll turn back, I think. We lost too many to freedom last time we learned to cross a river. Can't risk what we become if we learn to harness the power of the ocean. They told us we couldn't swim for so long, we began to believe it. So they decided to turn the water against us, force us to bathe in the aftermath of their fracking. I think they're using Flint to spark a fire, a place where water is still burning black people. But blessed be the water, the libations poured for those poor, unfortunate souls who believe mermaids just can't be black.
That was Ageless Ambition. Can we make some noise for letting little black girls know that they can be Princess Ariel too, that they can be mermaids too? That was Ageless Ambition on the mic. Representation matters, y'all. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for Prince Pierre. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, all the way to the stage for Prince Pierre.
Hey, how y'all doing? This one is for my mama. How dare we? How dare we fix our lips to call you Nubian queens out of your name? How dare we allow you to be attacked and harassed and tell you because of your clothes, you the one to blame? You see, it's sad to say, but in this generation, our women are constantly being judged and categorized, but not for the amount of love in their heart, but for the fullness of their breasts and the thickness of their thighs. And it's crazy because we got God's greatest creation right in front of us, but we too stupid to even realize. So how dare we be man enough to give you the burden of a child, but be too coward to simply stay? How dare we make you work 3 times harder, but only give you 2/3 the pay? How dare we not see that your beauty is as precious and as elegant as diamonds and pearls, but further insult your pulchritude by telling you you only cute for a black girl? You see, you women are God's gift and truly to be blessed, because you then withheld every test and having a man, a baby, and a house on your chest, and despite it all, you still put forward your best. So how dare we act like we can relate, like us men could ever deal with what you queens have on your plate, talking about we love you, but only dishing out hate. So let me tell you, beautiful, light, dark, brown women, that your labor is not in vain, that I understand your struggle and I done seen your pain. You see, my mama, she was a soldier. Every battle she ever came, she didn't have enough money to get her nails done, but she put me in all kinds of school to make sure there was nothing but knowledge in this brain. So how dare we not bow down at your feet when we're in your presence? So on behalf of me, my brothers, my kinfolk, and my family, I just want to say, how dare we, how dare you, and how dare me?
That was Prince Pierre. You get the joke. Y'all give it up for Prince Pierre one more time. Audience, are you ready for the next poet? Please put your hands together for James Trotter. Keep clapping, keep clapping. Clap for the cab hat. Keep clapping, keep clapping.
All right, everybody, how y'all doing? Make some noise. So before I get started, just a shameless plug. I'm playing the Preston Theater tomorrow. Yeah, at 8 o'clock, 2201 Preston Street. Me and a bunch of like really cool improv acts. So come on out if y'all want to. So, could y'all make some noise for all the dope ass poets you heard tonight? Fantastic. They were all really, really good. So I'm a little different than them because I make all my shit up. And the reason I do that is I can't memorize like them. I try to memorize my poems. I just can't ever memorize them. So I just make them up in the moment. All right. So I'm going to need two things from y'all. The first one is whenever I say goodbye 2021, I need y'all to say close that shit, all right? Goodbye 2021. Goodbye 2021. And the second thing I'm going to need is just some words. So let's get people here in the front. Sir, what is a positive word you associate with 2021? You can do negative if you want to, but what's a word you associate with 2021? Optimism. There we go. It's a fucked up year, and he said optimism, the audacity. Man, right here. What's a negative word you associate with 2021? Don't say like pessimism. No diss. Just any word. First word that comes to mind. Negative 2021. Mental health. Mental health or mental health? Let's do mental health. It'll be a little more fun. All right. And then, man, right here, just any word you can think of right here. Right here. Oh, yeah, you can do it. Do it. Yeah, somebody. I don't give a fuck. No, say it. Oh, wait. Wait. I can't say that. Thank you. Thank you for stepping away slowly. All right. I will. I am totally going to pick somebody else. Anybody, just a word? Yeah, go ahead, man. Nice and loud. The word is what? Depth. Death. Okay, sounds good. All right. Cherry light bounce, break me off. Turn up. Turn up like a loud house. Goodbye, 2021. Goodbye, 2021. One last little bit. I said this poetry shit. Goodbye, 2021. Yeah, you know it's whole new world, just like Aladdin. It's 2021. Rest in peace, John Madden. We killing that shit. No time for a burial. Like read that Chloe's going to make a great Ariel. And the conservatives, I wish them well, but they be all pissed off in their mental hell. With that devil, take him to another level and disheveled. I try to bring the shit, take it to another level. But you know I want her to get on top of this. I got this positive dick. You call it optimist. Come on, lady. Start undressing this, because it ain't going down like a pessimist. Come on, baby. I'll fuck to your last breath. I'm up in this shit. I want to fuck you to death. Now, listen. I am very well aware that I am not debonair like Prince Pierre, but it's all right. I freeze him down like Sub-Zero. And my homie Lero, yo, he's still my rhyming hero, but we bringing this shit. I said we bringing it clear. I be hosting on down like my good friend Amir. We about to close it down. Goodbye, 2021. One last little hit, one last little bit. We about to close it down. Thank y'all so much for being a great audience. Have a good rest of your 2021. See y'all next year. Peace.
That was James Trotter. Y'all check him out at the Preston Theater tomorrow. Ask him for more. Audience, every week we like to do something that we call our selfie break. Here's how it's going to work. We're all going to pull out our phones. You're going to take a selfie with whoever you came with, post it online, and tag us on social media at WAN Poetry on the count of 3. So I need everyone to pull out their phones. And everyone say Gouda on 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So that was James Trotter. We had 20 poets in the first half of our open mic. We got 12 more coming up in the second half. We're going to go to a short intermission. Before we do, I want to make one more plug. Slam Mania 3. The tickets are on pre-sale only tonight. You got to go to our website. I also have tickets for a show called New Poetry Era. Basically, 4 of the biggest poetry shows in Houston are coming together to do a monthly show. We are just now joining it. Without us being a part of it, there are already 300 people there a month. If you'd like to get a ticket to that, I have them with me. They're $25. No Eventbrite fees, no sales tax, just $25. If you want one, hit me up. Otherwise, we got $8 specials in the back with Lalo. We got pizza specials on the front patio. We got tacos in the parking lot. Do your thing. We'll be back after a short intermission with the second half of our show. I say Mike, you say check, say Mike. Mike. I say re, you say spec, say re. Re. I say second, you say round, second. Second. All right, y'all, we are going to the second round of our poetry night. I have approximately 20-ish minutes to call out 12 people. So what I'm going to need you to do as a poet is be ready to move, because we're going to try to fit everybody in, but we might not. So audience, I'm going to tell you who's on deck, then I'm going to call up the next name coming to the stage, okay? On deck, I got DC Flows. Next up, coming to the stage, put your hands together for Sarah Tonin. Keep clapping, y'all. Poetry can I? Just pardon my manners. Y'all give it up for Sarah Tonin. Poetry can I?
Okay. Before I begin, I wasn't sure if I was going first. Do I have any pizza sauce on my face? I'm good? All right. We're going to put this to a vote. Do we want to hear a poem that's also a comedy routine, or do we want to hear something that's extremely gay? All right. All right. I knew that was coming. All right. This poem is called Combustion, and it's for Julia, Cue the applause, and Lachelle the Shooter. So she tells me that if someone were to write a poem for her, she would combust. Direct quote. And ever since then, this word combust has been living in my head, driving me completely bonkers. So I wrote this poem for Julia as a way to, as Q would say, make the thing living in my head pay the goddamn rent. Combustion is defined as the process of burning, due to a rapid chemical combination of a substance with oxygen, resulting in the production of heat and light. And I think back to my very first open mic at Right About Now, October 9th, 2019, where the light in my eyes began to burn once more, when my world combined with spoken word poetry for the first time and resulted in the production of passion and love, two aspects of my life that I thought had gone extinct. But as soon as I thought that my life was devoid of purpose, my joy returned to my heart in the form of poetry, pulled a Samuel L. Jackson and said, "Surprise, motherfucker." Before discovering the art of spoken word poetry, I was broken and lost, this dead heart barely beating. Depression had such a grip on my spirit that my soul had turned dry and barren, but poetry has brought it back to life, reviving my soul to a state of wholeness, nourishing it with the love it needs to prosper, and is now abundant in passion and overflowing with purpose. Because what kind of poets would we be without all this love? What kind of poets would we be without the passion for our written work burning as bright as the light in our eyes? The poet's heart combusts, pumping love throughout our bodies, running through our veins, shooting out of our fingertips, transferring to everyone that we love. resulting in the production of energy. Where even though my happiness seemed to have taken an extended leave of absence with no expected return date, it has finally clocked in and is ready to get back to work. And for the first time in years, I'm finally able to joy like I'm supposed to, just like Lachelle taught me how. Just 2 short years ago, when it felt like the darkness that had been managing my life for so long had officially tenured, and I was sure its shitty management of my spirit would run me to the ground, I never would have guessed that 2 years later, I would have everything I could ever want, and then some. For the first time in so long, I am not just surviving, but y'all, I am living. And I have finally stood up to the darkness that has been running me for my whole life, telling it, man, you got some serious entitlement issues. Just because you happen to occupy a space does not mean that it is rightfully yours. Clear out your stuff, get the fuck out of my life, and make way for the joy that is taking your place. If you had told me 2 years ago that I would soon be working my dream job, have the most amazing support system I could ever ask for, become a spoken word artist with my very first poetry book about to drop, with a second book already in the works, I would tell you, you are literally insane. But here I am, living the best life I could ever imagine. Poetry is the one place where my heart can combust, yet remain so whole and so full. Just like here on this very stage, I can lose myself and find myself simultaneously. So given this, combustion can be defined as the process of radiating, due to the combination of a young girl with passion, purpose, and love just as important as the air we breathe, resulting in the production of warmth and life. So I want to say thank you to all the best people in my life that have made me who I am today. Everyone here at Right About Now, Alyssa, Shannon, other Shannon spelled differently, Kristen, Amanda, Tyler, Priscilla, Yater, Ashley, Corbin, Andy, Krishna, Angelica, Blake, Camille, and Julia, the inspiration for this poem. You are all the pacemakers that have sent a supercharge of love throughout my spirit and brought this dead heart back to life. I know all about combustion. I am a perfect example of it. Because this heart, y'all, this heart runs on love. Pure, wholesome, genuine love. Thank you.
That poem was powered by love. Y'all give it up for Serotonin. All right, on deck, I got Auntie. Next up, coming to the stage, please put your hand. I'll do it all. I'll valet your car later too, y'all. Just ask me. All right. So on deck, I got Auntie. Next up, coming to the stage, y'all put your hands together for DC Flow. Keep clapping all the way to the stage for DC Flow.
I like y'all mic. Y'all's are simple. These city lights look so dim without you. The plans I had for us shimmering over the skyline. The dreams I could have made happen for you, but you could never see me in them. And these damp streets that whisper as I walk by. With every drop that splash and every puddle, and with every clang that bang and all the rubble, it seems the streets is talking and the city just wants to know why are we separated. And then that familiar fog follows me through the alley into my vehicle, and then me and my vehicle start laughing at the irony how your heart can go to bed hungry while you're getting on the feeder. And then I realize it's nights like these where the highways become time machines, surrounding us in lights and propelling us to a destination of the unknown. The navigation tries to steer me to my next destination, but where am I really going, and where has my mind really gone? As the lyrics to a Drake song speak a reality into existence that I wish I had forgotten. And then suddenly, you appear in my passenger seat, clutching my fingers, holding them tightly as if to assure me that you can't make this journey without me. And at that moment, I knew this was a dream, an apparition, an after image of my vision before the harsh reality. The harsh reality that of your flaws and mine, the harsh reality that maybe it just wasn't our time, the harsh reality that maybe we were never meant to be together, that I wasn't supposed to handle you and you didn't know how to treat me. Harsh realities. Harsh realities, like walking away from your past, like you walking out on a funeral, even though the people in it are still very much alive. Harsh realities. But even so, stay just for the ride. You've arrived. A meeting so abrupt and so impolite, because no matter how polite Siri can be, there's no polite ending to a journey you never wanted to see the end of. And it's as if as soon as I lock my car door, the rain begins to pour, chasing me to the entrance, as if Mother Nature has more surprises. And as I walk through the entrance, I maneuver through conversations held over mesmerizing margaritas, shallow pools of shots, drifting drafts, and tranquil typhoons circulating inside twirling wine glasses. As the commotion around me begins to evaporate like a mist, and I move to the bar with intention. I came with no one because I need no one. I came with no one because I need no one, but the bartender, she knows what I need. As she looks at me with a look of expectancy that I wasn't quite expecting. And at that moment, I realized how smooth as the transition as it was planned. As my cup gets heavy and my stomach gets full, and I have no interest in conversing with a fool because I pass the time by watching the energy transfer between people. I know what I mean. Like how one night stands take flight as people take their seats. How friendships begin and end, love end and begin. Watching the adventurous lust within men magnetize them to the baddies in the room. I remember those times. I remember those times with a celebration of what is the most average occasion. The starting of a new week and the ending of an old one. As groups of girls say they stepping out for a night to forget their life only to add to it in the process. I remember those times. And then suddenly, you appear. A ghost from my past as that suddenly walked in without me noticing. Suddenly, you appear as my wishful thinking conjured into physical form as I attempt to drink and dream at the same time. It's funny how the spirits in your alcohol are oftentimes familiar ones. And so this one was so familiar, I began to speak. I had to ask my ex, why are you here? You allowed me to play a role in your play, denied my offer as the co-star in my movie, and now you're trying to hang with me somewhere that ain't even your scene. You got to forgive me. I snapped at my damn self. You denied me a role in your play. And then you had me a role in your play and then denied my offer for the co-star in my movie. Now you're trying to hang with me somewhere that ain't even your scene. You doing just what you did when we was together. Being present, but never around. Or being around and never present. Always wanted me to stay, but never leave. And I got so frustrated I couldn't breathe. And then she clutched my face lightly and turned me slightly to the right. And then she began to put her brow against mine as if she was leaning in for a kiss. But this time it was as if the closer she got, the paler she gets. And then it was as if she was disappearing into smoke until all I was left with was those brown eyes. Those brown eyes. That if they were so much as kissed by a drop of sunlight, they would ripple out into a hypnotic hazel. Those brown eyes that suddenly began to seem like deep pools of regret sinking my reflection to the bottom. And once they dissipated, I was caught off guard as I was met with the gaze of another. And all of a sudden, we're peering back at each other. And next thing I know, we're trying to explain where our heads were at the moment. And I'm apologizing without knowing. But next, we start a conversation about where our lives are going. Our cups run dry and our conversation runs long enough for us to peer out the sun from the deck. I never knew why they let us stay this long, and I still don't know. But we both knew it was time to go. And so I thanked her for the night that was. As she showed me my vehicle, I began to get up and my body moved, but my hand stayed in place. Turns out she had held it without me knowing. She met me eye to eye, face to face, and asked, "Where are we going?" And life is funny. Because it seems like tonight I was running from somebody who was standing in one place, only to realize the sun can shine on a new face. So if anybody is slowing down from a breakup, I need you to know I was doing this so you could change pace. Find somewhere to be vulnerable, because you shouldn't be risking your heart to save your face. DC Flows. I appreciate y'all. I'm actually here with my host, Black Beauty. My name is DC Flows. We have an event tomorrow at Writer's Block. That's exactly how you can find us on Instagram. If you are interested, we will be starting tomorrow at 8. Thank you very much.
That was DC Flows. Y'all make sure to check out Writer's Block on Thursday nights. On deck, on deck. I got Angie. Next up, coming to the stage. Y'all put your hands together for Ante.
Hello, everybody. My name's Ante. I'm your shiny, non-binary neighbor. And I would love to do this poem by my favorite poet, Alok Vaid Menon. It's a poem that's been weighing on my spirit for a while. And thank you for being here. I'm back in my hometown in Texas when I received the news that Leela, a 17-year-old trans woman, has committed suicide by walking in front of a truck in Ohio. The article refers to her by her birth name and gender, so I recall that rest in peace is a luxury only afforded to those bodies whose violence ends with death. I'm sitting in the waiting room at the chiropractor, ostensibly to diagnose the chronic back pain that I've developed this past year, but judging by all the middle-aged women sitting next to me in the waiting room, I remember that the chiropractor is simply a place to be touched, for going through the ritual of allowing a man to caress you as if he cares. You see, in this town, certain acts of transgression are permissible, especially if they're covered by health insurance or have a Bible quote to justify them. Is there a difference? This is the first year that I've publicly identified as trans. My doctor doesn't know this, but my mother does, though if she could use denial as a pronoun for me, she would. Earlier today, my grandmother tells me that young boys like myself shouldn't be carrying this much pain in our bodies. In other words, we shouldn't be hurt. Apparently, we're only supposed to be doing the hurting. We live in a small town in Texas, so there are crosses on the doctor's office and Bible quotes written in fonts like Comic Sans and Impact, used completely unironically. So I think to myself how remarkable it is that one symbol can mean such different things for two different people. Their clip art, my cliche. Your birth certificates, our search warrants. Our femininity, your ridicule. Your crosses, my classmate Ashley, who in 10th grade tells me that I will rot in a pit of burning sulfur if I do not embrace Jesus into my life. There are a few things that people from this town tend to be right about, but I am sure she was right about this one. Signed sincerely me, the flaming faggot from Texas. The doctor traces the muscles in my back. He asks me if I've been in an accident. He wants to know, he would like an explanation. He wants to know how something can feel so irrevocably broken and yet still be working properly. It would appear that my doctor regards pain as an exception. What a privilege it is to navigate the world like this, as if pain was something that you could pinpoint and eliminate, not the only thing that reminds you have a body to begin with anyway. This is the town and time that I first tried to kill myself at 13. I did not have the words for it at the time. It was just the tightness in this chest, the tinge in this voice, your Bible belt wrapped around my neck. And I did not know what I was doing, but I knew why I was doing it, and that felt like enough. Sometimes I miss this sense of conviction. These days, I have all the knowledge and theory to know why you would have labeled this a suicide instead of a murder, to rinse your own hands in crosses of the blood, as if we hate ourselves because we love to and not because because you didn't tell us to, as if we killed ourselves because we weren't following, as if we killed ourselves because we wanted to and not because we weren't following your instructions, as if we weren't following God's prophecy himself. On our knees, in his name, amen. Doctor, the only accident in my life was when you proclaimed me both boy and brown at my birth, and I have been trying to recover from both ever since. You see, the thing about this body is that you'll use words like pressure and anxiety to diagnose this pain instead of words like gender and race or any of the other words that did not make it into your medical school textbooks or Bibles, these commandments that I wear on my back since the day a man who looked just like you told my mother that I was born, but he also mentioned since the day a man who looked just like you told my mother that I was born, but he also forgot to mention how he prescribed my death, how it's often not about the suicide, the accident, the slur, the punch, as if gender, as if violence, as if trauma is an episode that starts and stops. It does not work like this. It never stops. Most of the time, it is dull, quiet, and normal. It sinks into us so deeply that we can no longer tell the difference between our depression and our oppression, between our violence and our gender, between our sin and our skin. I am in pain, not because of an accident, but because of the norm. She is dead, not because of an accident, but because of the norm. We are not broken. We are working just the way you taught us to. Do you understand? I tell my doctor that I slipped and fell for the same reason I allow my mother to use the wrong pronouns for me. The same reason I tell people and myself that I'm much happier now that I've moved from home is the same way most of us learn how to play pretend while growing up. I never stopped because it hurts less, and sometimes that's just enough to survive. Thank you.
That was Ante sharing a poem by Alok Menon. Funny story about Alok. I went to high school with Alok. We both grew up in College Station, Texas. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Alok, they have nearly 1 million followers on Instagram. I actually had like kind of a crazy high school. I went to A&M Consolidated High School. One of the graduates was Alex Caruso. So he used to play with the Lakers, and now he's on Chicago Bulls. And Alok is from my school. And then, are y'all familiar with Airtable? No, it's like a software company. The CEO was in chess club with me. It's like $11 billion evaluation. I should have let him beat me at chess. But anyway, so really, really cool. Alok Menon, check them out. Huge platform. A big part of their movement is to degender fashion, and they're also an awesome, awesome poet. All right, y'all, that was Ante. On deck, I got Diana Joy. Next up, coming to the stage, put your hands together for Angie.
Hi, guys. All right, so I'm kind of going through a spiritual awakening, if anybody knows what that is. You kind of learn a lot about yourself when you go through one. So this is my toxic traits. I have a couple of toxic traits. Maybe sometimes there aren't toxic traits, but they just aren't what I want to be. Like the way I bring the attention, like the way that I say like the way that I don't pay attention. I always get nervous up here. And I don't have this memorized. Okay. Like the way I don't pay attention to all the details, or maybe the way I say I a lot, bringing the conversation back to me. Maybe because being the center of attention was what I crave. Not the center of attention in all conversations, but I guess the ones that I could relate to. Like the way I disregard stupid things people say, calling it ADD, calling it selective hearing. Nope, I heard you, but I just choose not to really hear you, but realizing it might actually be important and I didn't pay attention. Like over exaggerating every storyline, or being too vulnerable, like smiling all the time, or being able to just love someone so much it hurts, or not really accepting my thoughts, or not really knowing them, or being too negative when my emotions are negative because fuck Optimus Prime, I want to be Negatron, or overly sharing my emotions or past, or being too trusting or too naive, never really distinguishing the two, or being so caught up in my mind that anything that anyone says, doesn't say, may not say, is like a crazy roller coaster in my head of overthinking. That even if things may never seem the same, I still wish for a new beginning. Like going back to what hurt me and expecting a different outcome. Like not caring if I don't get out of bed. It's easier to call others out on their toxic habits, but can you name your own? Sometimes I can be controlling and have ways of getting what I want. Sometimes I whine a lot. I talk to myself a lot. Sometimes I don't considerate others. Sometimes I'm too picky. Maybe I'm not picking enough. That's another one of my toxic traits, having those standards. Being too nice, overeating, being too clingy. But in the end, what is beauty without pain? What is pain without strength? Changing or becoming something new changing or becoming something new involves evolution of the old. So maybe there's hope. Loving me is not easy, trust me. I spent years hating myself. But love seems to find me, even on days where darkness overcomes me. Healing started when I became self-aware. Self-aware of all the things that I was saying and doing to myself and all the ways I hurt people I loved. When I started healing, I learned that even I could love myself with all my imperfections.
That was Angelica Llanos. One time for Spiritual Awakenings. All right, on deck, I got Alan C. Next up, coming to the mic. Y'all put your hands together for Diana Joy.
Stop with the music. I always wanted to do this because I need to walk with this poem. Hello, everyone. So I will be turning 30 Friday. Y'all can give me money today if I don't see y'all Friday. But I want to tell a story. I am going to tell a story. So this poem is a poem that I wrote when I was transitioning into the beautiful woman that I am today. So I was at this how it went. So I was in Houston. My mama said that she's not gonna love me until I find out who I am. So I didn't take offense to it because I didn't know who I was. I was Todd, then I was Trey, then I was an uncle, then I was a brother, then I was just a gay friend, and I was always been a woman, right? So when she said that, I didn't take offense. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go find who I am or whatever. And I moved to Vegas, and this lady was disrespecting me. She didn't want to call me by the right pronoun. So I walk up to her and I was like, I'm about to start the poem now, and we're about to get attitude, right? I walked up to her and I was like, let me take this moment to introduce you to this woman with a nice style, so sharp she can slice shawl, with her smile, hurt you with her hair. She had that image that'll make them stare and wonder about this woman. Is she tender like Trudy? Is she smart like Moesha? Is she hot like Foxy? Is she smooth like Sade? Is she vibrant like Erica? Is she freaky like Escape? Or is she classy like Marilyn Monroe? They say her words flow like Dr. Maya Angelou. Her waist winds like the snakes of India. Her heart beats like the drums of Africa. Her eyes, they speak. This woman is magical. Fairies hate her, dragons fear her, mermaids wish to drown her, and unicorns deny her rise. The queen. Bonnie Faye, Gwen, Lucy, Rhonda, Precious, Stephanie, rest in peace, Grandma Betty, her roots run deep. She wasn't born but created, aged like cheese, crafted like fine wine, tempered like Lindt chocolate with a hint of sea salt. She was composed like a Shakespeare play, built in Frankenstein's laboratory. Her presence brings joy to the heavens. Her skin glows brighter than the largest star in her skin glows brighter than the largest star. Breathtaking she is, her soul feels as if she came from the fourth planet instead of the third one. Not knowing she was a Capricorn December 31. Can't focus with your two eyes, need to use your third one. Then maybe you will realize Diana Joy is that woman. So y'all can follow me on Instagram at Dirty Diana PYTI. Thank you guys.
On the count of three, I want everyone to say happy birthday, Diana Joy. 1, 2, 3. Hey, y'all celebrate Diana Joy. Thank you for celebrating your birthday with us. On deck, I got Mia Mathern. Next up, coming to the stage, I want you to put your hands together for Alan C.
How you guys doing? Good. I'm Alan. I go by Poet Preacher. This is a life lesson I hope real deal to my heart. So just listen closely. All right. Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. I used to ponder on that. Now I understand because I used to be dismayed. One time I dated the prettiest girl, but I realized her beauty was like diamonds and pearls. It loses value and leaves you with regret if you try to exchange it for the world. In the end, you'll be a fool because your lust had you in the world. Young man, why don't you open your eyes? Her beauty will feed you many lies and take you by surprise. Oh man, take a look at your life. You searched the wrong thing in a woman, and now you have a bitter wife. I was searching for her body and her face. I would have only found strife. If I were to commit to that girl because of sexual attraction, it would have been such a shameful chase. Don't you know? A righteous woman satisfies the appetite of a true man. It's a never-ending taste. I hope it shows that you find a woman realizing that the beauty that you saw will come to waste. Plant the seeds that will sow. Her beauty will never give you wisdom. My hope is that these words will let you grow. Her beauty will never make you stronger. Store this knowledge in your mind and your heart, in your soul, and may your heart forever know her beauty will never define you as a man. Take your mistakes and let them go. Her beauty will never solve your problems. Be true to yourself and never let your life lessons get thrown below. Her beauty will never fully bring you peace, nor will it ever satisfy the cravings of your soul. I hope you finally understand. What you see in her face and her body will fade in due time. What you see in her face and her body becomes inconsistent like a poet's broken rhyme. Find a woman with beauty on the inside. Let her be your light as true beauty blesses you with shine. Ladies, Poet Preacher isn't saying that you ain't gorgeous. Ladies, if anything, every last one of you has a beauty that's enormous. But ladies, never let a man take your body and your face in vain. Never let a man take your body and your face for self-gain. Take a moment. Think about that homegirl or that girlfriend that had a man which left her in pain. He used her, he abused her, he confused her. Man, stop acting like little boys and have some self-dignity when it comes to the ladies. Man, search for the beauty, and when you find it, treat it like that brand new Benz Mercedes.
That was Alan C. Can we make some noise for being God-fearing? On deck, I got a couple on deck. I got Shay Salazar Blaze and John Salazar Blaze on deck back to back. Y'all give it up for married people sharing poetry and shit. But before I bring them up to the stage, y'all put your hands together for Mia Mathern.
Hi guys, I'm Mia Mathern. I'm from right here in Houston, Texas, but I go to school in New Orleans. And my parents are so fucking tired of hearing about this, but pain makes good poetry, so here we go. I pray to God under the tree on A Quad, and I hope that he listens because there's no one here that will. just stone benches and sleeping crows. I pray for this pain to subside in a way that's not fire and blood and wrenching myself up by broken fingertips. Please make it soft and blissful, like slipping into a slumber sleep with the rain pattering the window. I pray for this heartbreak to stop breaking my heart. I am so tired of riding my bike to the church and back, hoping that you will see my hair flying and remember how it used to lay against the pillow, curls all pulled out from the fucking. I'm so tired of spitting into the bayou and cursing your hook to be empty. What I really hope is empty is your bed at your mother's house in the backseat of your car. I'm so tired of writing and speaking and thinking your name. It makes my stomach roil and my heart squelch in my chest, but it's stuck in my mind the same way these freckles are stuck on my face. I'm tired of driving and crying and sleeping and crying and waking up and crying and reading and crying and studying and crying and sitting and crying. I pray that I get some of it back, some of what I gave to and tucked into the folds of your soul without your knowing. I want I-10 back, Highway 6 and FM 521 back. I want my high school parking lot and my church back. I want my pink Jackson Hole teacher and my future MILF hat back. I want the green couch in my game room back. It was never big enough for the both of us anyways. I want the blank spots where your pictures used to be back. I want my pink walls and my white bed back. I want that little journal full of poetry and diary entries back. I know it's collecting dust on your bedside table next to the wisdom teeth you needed to keep in. I want my first kiss and my virginity back. I can't believe I was stupid enough to place two precious things into the same pair of shaking hands. I pray under this tree in New Orleans that I find home again, since it doesn't seem to be here or Houston, but instead a blue-eyed boy in South Carolina. It's no wonder I feel so homeless with a capital H. I was a bird who built its nest in a Christmas tree waiting to be cut down. I pray that I can choose myself the way that you chose booze and video games and nicotine and your friends over me. I can pray that I stop gobbling up news of you like a drunk girl gobbles up Waffle House. It doesn't help to know that your hair is the way I always wanted it to be. I pray that I'm only 18 and naive and that love will blind my eyes again. But it's hard to think of a time without loving you because it's been the most constant thing about me for the last 7 years. Even my own face in the mirror has changed. I pray that we can live out that story that you told me, yes, on that green couch, the one with the dogs and the house in the mountains and the daughter, and the life I always wanted and I didn't know I wanted until you dropped its nectar down my throat. I pray that I can remember that I am here and you are there and that no response is a response and that it wouldn't have worked anyways, and if it's meant to be, it'll come back to me, and if he wanted to, he would. I pray that you want to, and I pray that you will. Thank you very much.
That was Mia Mathern. Can we give it up for Mia? Can we give it up for Mia's parents for being here? Audience, can I get a fuck that guy on 3? 1, 2, 3. I didn't say do the middle finger, but it worked. Thank y'all so much. All right, on deck, I got John Salazar Blaze. Next up, coming to the stage, y'all put your hands together for Shay Salazar Blaze.
What's up, everybody? I'm very nervous. This is my second reading. My first time up here was on this stage, I think inside there. But so first I want to let you guys know we are going to be paying a tribute to DMX, so look out for that statement for you to join in. And here we go. Man, this year has been empowering, painful, rewarding, and the most change I've ever experienced over such a short period of time compared to our entire lives. I lost some friends this year, And man, they were taking up a lot of space. I mean, just spewing toxic waste everywhere. You know what kept me though? Time. So much time had passed, 14 years to be exact. And as I removed the veil I placed upon her to protect myself from all the fucked up choices she was making, I also realized that it wasn't my company to begin with. They were hers. They were her friends that naturally became mine too, that naturally changed who she was. Sometimes we think because it's happening around us, it has to be because of us. And sometimes it is. But sometimes we make other people's problems our problems. And sometimes it's actually their own insecurities manifesting around you. So if you meet someone that blatantly does fucked up shit and you try to help them and they act oblivious, get the fuck out of there. Okay? If this is not someone you're trying to build a life with, stop, drop, get the fuck out of there. Oh, whoa. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. So there's only so much of you, honey. And when they say takers gonna take till there's nothing left, they mean that shit. I've never witnessed someone act like all the fucked up shit they're saying is okay when it's so beyond wrong. I'll let you be the judge. It will be good for you to have black friends since you were raised by a white mom. So we're gonna play it like that. 14 years. Said by a girl I never saw as white, but as a sister. Okay. So you're going to completely negate the other side of me, my entire black family. 14 years, people. So that's how we're gonna play it. I already said that. I don't care how long you've known somebody, but friends don't say fucked up shit like that. What is that? What is that saying? Only people hurt? Or is it hurt people in the kind of way that leaves you baffled, not making any sense, but at the same time creating depth within your character? For me, it pushed me further into my faith because God knew that I could not bear this one on my own. For me, I let my Father up in heaven take care of his child because I could not help this one. But it does not mean I am afraid to help another. Have you ever seen so many signs over a period of time, instead of heeding that warning, justifying why they did or said what they said until it blows up in your face? Well, this was it for me. Why do we do that? I like to believe it's us giving others a chance to be the best that they can be at our own expense. Trust your intuition. It may save you some suffering. The beautiful thing about losing people, though, is it makes room for all the blessings that you've been keeping yourself from. When I think back to that period, I realized that every moment was necessary. I have to say I was naive about how people can say fucked up shit with a blank face like it's nothing. But I would do it all again if it meant that I would meet my love, my husband, the father to my baby. The reward far surpassed the loss. Sometimes situations can seem so unbearable, but let me tell you firsthand, if you let it, it can develop you in ways that nothing else can. Give great compassion, understanding, and develop the ability to love deeply. When I began to bring gratitude into those types of situations, it changed how long the pain stayed. So when you find yourself in what feels like a low place, God is working on you, baby. This is only temporary, and it's putting you on your path. You need to become you. You need to become who you're meant to be. So next time someone hurts you, thank them and get the fuck out of there.
That was Shay Salazar Blaze. On deck, I got Halo Possibility. Next up, coming to the stage, I have Shay's child's father. Coming up to the stage, John Salazar Blaze.
Bet y'all thought I was gonna be taller. I'm not. Man, that was a lot right there. That was amazing. All right. Well, I just wanted to give y'all something tonight that just came from the heart. So I just wrote it out real quick today. And then I was like, okay, we're just going to go see how it goes. So here we go. New shit. A time ago, I know it's not when I did receive a word, a promise. Promises are sacred. Promises foreshadow fruition, sweet fruit. Where can one find those moments? Precious, whole, complete. Even just a moment, recognize it. Take hold. Now breathe it all in. It is not one life to live, it's just one life to give. Will you give your life or have it taken from you?
Pause.
I was promised healing both inside and out, and I have that now. I have a beautiful wife, so beautiful that I can't spell beautiful, and a child on the way. That makes me whole. That makes me rise. That gives me purpose. That gives me the freedom. That frees my body. That frees my voice. That child will be us. And we will be that child. And life will grow in depth and joy.
That was my man, John Salazar Blaze, leaving the planet like he found it. I appreciate you picking up that paper. On deck, I got Swoop. Next up, coming to the stage, y'all give it up for Halo Possibility.
Hello, hello. Okay. So before I begin this poem, just a little backstory. I come from a dysfunctional family. Never really understood or felt like I had a family growing up. So in early 20s in college, I was very lost. But I had an English professor for creative writing class, and we hit it off through poetry. She immediately became my mentor, my best friend, and eventually my surrogate mother, and me becoming her daughter. Some of you may know her as Mama V. I love her to death, and I wrote this poem for her for Christmas, but it's also dedicated for Mama V and anyone who never felt like they had a family. So this is a reminder that you can find and create your own family. She smells like henna and a concoction of oils. Lavender, rose, coconut, hibiscus. You don't have to catch her scent to know when she's around. A blanket of light surrounds you and warms what you hide deep inside you. A lot of people don't like their pain to be touched like that, but others recognize what a gift it is to have someone love you so deeply. She rocks boots, mini skirts, and tassels, bejewels her jean jackets, and customizes everything she wears, and her hair dances in flames of orange and reds. You'll never catch her without her wearing her lipstick or her smile. She attracts attention wherever she goes, so best believe she is hotter than fish grease. She will add salt and cayenne pepper to any and every meal. She's an expert in spicing up dishes and your life. And when she speaks, you can't help but listen. She's fluent in the language of transparency and truth, a world traveler, historian, critical thinker, and born leader. She opens minds and hearts. Her voice is known to heal the wounded or to piss off the arrogant. A lot of people don't like their shit to be put on blast like that, but others recognize what a gift it is to have someone be so honest with them. She has been diagnosed legally blind, but she can still spot bullshit from a mile away, and she is never too shy to tell you about it. We've shared many laughs together about the absurd craziness of the world and my many moments of absurd craziness. My greatest healings have come from her honesty and me crying about what an ass I've been and then me making fun of what an ass I've been. She has shown me what love looks like, feels like, and what is. She didn't give birth to me, but she did give me life. And what you've given me, no one can ever take away. Know that wherever you go, my love is always with you.
That was Halo Possibility. Shout out Mama V one time. I want to shout out our online viewers. So for those of you who don't know, we stream a lot of our shows. We stream to our Facebook page. We stream to our YouTube channel. We stream to Twitter. And we stream to Twitch. I don't know how Twitch works. So if you do, help me out with that one. And so if you're ever wanting to see the shows or show someone the poem or show them the night, you can do so by sharing that stream. We had Halo Possibility on the mic. On deck, I got Caleb Smith. Next up, kind of mic. Y'all put your hands together. He came here all the way from Las Vegas. Y'all show some love for Swoop.
All right. I have to say I'm not used to mics, so it's maybe a little sloppy. But I consider myself a bottled artist for a long time, and then I found poetry, so it gave my heart some purpose. So this is my declaration as a poet performance. It's called Pure Poetry. I am a motherfucking poet. Vanessa Latrice Williams vibes. I just came up here to show it. Oh, every time I step up on this stage, it gives me chills, thrills. It feels. No, I feel. I motherfucking feel. I feel like I like this feeling to last forever. Finally feeling feelings feels fabulous. However, every time I feel this feeling, my poetry gets better and better. Step up on this stage with that new shit like a trendsetter. I am a motherfucking poet. Brace yourself, because the wordplay ain't playful. This ain't a game. I'm popping the panties off poetry, making her scream my name. She's my queen. After a long day, she massages my brain. I caress her curves as we cry in the rain. I bottle shit in, and she does the same. Holding the pain I can't contain, maintain, retain, regain, motherfucking insane migraine. But poetry gives me peace. The stage gives me release. I step up on the scene, flow hella mean, fit hella clean, fighting for freedom with freedom of speech. Yeah, I mean, the revolution will not be televised. Arm yourself with education, knowledge, adjectives, and verbs. The revolution will not be televised. What is the human being without the competency for words. The revolution will not be televised. Ignorance is bliss, but not like this. There are better ways to exist. Educate yourself and resist. I am a motherfucking poet. Now I'm just thinking of creative ways to show it. Ooh. Did you feel that cold chill that just entered the room? That frightening feeling of fear that you hope leaves soon? That dreadful feeling of depression? Too motherfucking sad to leave my bedroom? That loathsome feeling of loneliness? Angry that I'm so fucking full of hopelessness? That unforgettable feeling of losing all hope? I try and I try and I try my hardest to cope, but breaking old habits is the steepest slope. I feel vivid feelings, but my bottle ain't got no more room. Depression's leaking out. I start to feel doomed. Feels like my bottle's been broken for ages. Now I give my feelings to these pages and rap sweet lady poetry in a cocoon. Then I practice patience and wait till the full moon. Then I find an open mic and I let my feelings balloon. And I feel every feeling as it consumes my body and the room.
That was Swoop popping the panties off poetry, making her scream. On deck, I got Rochelle. Next up, coming to the stage, y'all put your hands together for Caleb Smith.
Hello, hello. Raise your hand if you an elder sibling. Raise your hand if you a brother's keeper. This poem's dedicated to me trying to be a brother's keeper. Ooh, gotta log back into the phone. There we go. It comes with being eldest. I had to adult through some lessons since an adolescent. I was told keeping my brother was selfish. I tried to be his rock. He didn't roll no Elvis. Turned his back on me, all pelvis. We both raised so much hell. I overheard a demon say we might just get into heaven. Dancing through damages, parents, they mishandled us, led to many disadvantages, fights in the worst way, earthquakes, shook us right off the Richter. We went from niggas to nigga please. Brothers tenser than a trigger squeeze. The many times that he triggered me, maneuvered to make my mental quease and see. Now it's been a year since conversation. This emptiness, I can't escape it. It's the cost of being blood related. What's worse? Violent love or silent hatred? We've been short on words. But time changing you, that's absurd. Only a funny God would rebuild our broken future. What's funnier is I'm still giving hope. Credit it to me hoping God has a good sense of humor because lately I've been missing little bro. It's a short poem, but I just wanted to say it because me and my brother, we hugged for the first time in over a decade 2 weeks ago. So there's been some healing on that end. So yeah, just shout out to my little bro.
That was Caleb Smith. Shout out to everyone who is their brother's keeper. On deck, I got Tess. Next up, coming to the stage, y'all put your hands together for Rochelle.
Yo, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. This is my first time doing something like this. So, all right. So this poem is called Some People Say. Well, I don't know how or where to begin, but being apart, it feels like a sin. Some people say you're a dope if you stay. Do you really enjoy being treated this way? Accused, questioned, upset every day, as rage and fear steal her smiles away. Some people say she's fucked up in the head, but they don't know the worries that fill her with dread. the prayers she sends when the day's at an end, and the relief she hopes will one day descend. She's not entirely what you believed. There's no hope for her. Cut your losses and leave. I know your heart was set on forever, but forget her, man. She's not going to get better. Everyone leaves, and you're just the same, but which of us warrants the brunt of the blame? I suppose it's a waste since blame means nothing. Guess it's really the end, though I hoped you were bluffing. Some people say you did the right thing because the way her mind works is disgusting. Do I have to accept that our time is up? Saying this out loud makes me feel I'll throw up. I believed in my heart that you'd never give up, but life has a way of tripping you up. I do not have the desire to grieve. My mind can't conceive what my heart won't believe. Do I need to concede and begin to mourn where our life and future could have been born? Our own sanctuary is where we should be, of which none will be privy but you and me. Some people say she's toxic, you see. Rid yourself of her energy. You'll be better off, this we guarantee, free of turmoil and misery. But heed this advice, stay strong and stay true. The burdens she bears don't belong to you. You know in your heart all the reasons you stay, even when obstacles stand in your way. But how you get through is what makes you better. That's how you make love last forever. Real love always wins at the end of the day. Naysayers may gossip, but fuck what they say.
Fuck what them naysayers say. First time ever on this microphone. Y'all show love to Rochelle. And y'all, I need y'all to show some noise, build some noise, send some energy out. This is our last poet. 32 poets on this open mic. Y'all put your hands together for Tess.
Holy shit. I did not expect to perform tonight. Like I mentioned it to him and he was like, "You're a real homie, I'll do it for you." And now here we are. Here's to not being shitty, right? All right. I'll try not to. Home is Caro, Showa. And hey champ, you're looking a bit pale. Have you eaten? Home is Je t'aime and Mi corazón and Bonjour and Allez mon frère. And remember, no matter where you go, you will always find love here. Home is the binding. It is love, long lost, living life loud. Home is the wind in my back and the call from up ahead telling me I can make it if I just put my back into it. It is the hand that is always grasping, holding. Home is the anchor and the lifeboat. It is the floaty in the deep end of the pool around the castle of my soul. It is my moat. Home is don't worry, we got you. Home is the people that got you. Home is the place of fierce love and learning. It is a cacophony of English and Yoruba and Arabic and a little bit of French. For that time, you thought 3 languages was just too few. Lucky you. Home is my mother for whom I can never seem to eat enough. Home is the woman who cared for me, who birthed me. Home is my father, Mr. Fancy Ties, the suave motherfucker. The role model, the teacher, the friend, the leader, the financial advisor, the unwanted advice provider. Home is the binding. It is the cord for bungee jumping into the miasma that is life. It is the parachute for when you are falling, and it is the people always, not the place. It is always the binder, the binding, the tether in the emptiness of space. Thank you.
Give it up for Tess. Give it up for all 32 poets who blessed our microphone. Give it up for 2021 and all the shows we had this year. Give it up for 2022 and all the shows we're going to have next year. We meet here every Wednesday night. We have a huge show on January 22nd. If you're interested, pre-sale tickets in tonight. Slam Mania 3. It's at Rockefeller's Theater in Houston. You do not want to miss it. It's on a Saturday. You can wait till closer to the show, but you're going to pay more. I have hard copy tickets for the new Poetry Era show on January 30th if you're interested in that. Huge, huge show. Otherwise, you can catch us here, your friendly poetry open mic and slam every single Wednesday. This is a bar, so you do not have to go home, but it is the end of our show and the end of our shows in 2021. Thank you all so much for coming. Please have a very nice night.